Hello, 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 my stamping friends. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I am Caron Bailey, your independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, here with you tonight for another Chat and Catty. And tonight we are chatting and casing the mini January to April mini catalog featuring the framed florets. Let me get through a couple of announcements like we always do. You guys, anything you see me demonstrate this evening that you like, maybe don't have, or want to have, now is the time to think about it, okay? Please shop on my online store, www.sweetsignatures.stampinup.net. Please use this month's host code. And you guys, when you use the host code, make sure that your order is $149 or less. If you are happen to place an order that is $150 or more, please reach out to me, contact me so that I can help you to get your order so you can get more bang for your buck in the hostess benefits. All right. There will be a free gift with purchase for everyone who places an order that's $50 or more. You will get a free gift with purchase. And don't forget to check out the online exclusives, you guys. Those things are going like hotcakes. I can't express to you guys enough, impress upon you how important it is that if there is something that you see that you want and appreciate in the annual catalog or any one of the catalogs, or even in the online exclusive, please don't hesitate to get it. I fell asleep at the wheel and there's the die set that I really wanted that I didn't get. Y'all know I don't miss out on anything. So anyway, ask me about joining my Stampin' Up team. You guys, I am ready to take off and grow with and stamp with some of you guys. And I would love to invite you to join me on my team. And don't forget, as always, please like this video, invite your friends to join and watch these videos with me, and most important, like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love to bring you content. I will come to you almost every Thursday unless something's going on in the world. And by the way, there's a tornado watch. So if something happens in the middle of the shoot, it's because something is going on with the weather. Okay, we are under a tornado watch here, so I'm trying to make sure that I get to you as much as possible. Okay, that's all we got. And don't forget, tomorrow, Friday the 17th, we are doing, Friday the 17th, the DSP workshop. Grab your pack of designer series paper and join me in Zoom room, and let's go make some cards. All right, let's get to what we're here for tonight, the star of the show. We are here tonight and we are casing the mini catalog, the January through April 2023 mini catalog. Yeah, this catalog ends at the end of April, okay? If you have this catalog, you'll see on the back, it tells you that this goes through 1 May of 2023. So if there's anything that you see in this catalog that you would love to have, please make a note, make your list, check it twice, and Merry Christmas. Tonight, we are casing page 65 of the annual catalog, this framed florets bundle. This bundle was released last year as a preview to this catalog. And yes, I did some cards with it, but I never cased the catalog with it. So here we go. And my goal is to try to get through all 3 of them tonight. So in order to do that, I've done a lot of pre-cutting. And let's get started. Okay. If you're not familiar with the frame florets bundle, you guys tonight, this is the frame florets. It is a photopolymer bundle. Stamp and die, of course. I love the stamp sets. I love the dies. And I have to get a bigger, whatchamacallit, so that the dies sit on here better. All right, there we go. These are the lovely dies. And you guys, as you can see, these dies, with the exception of these images, has nothing to do with what's in here. right? So I'm excited to play with this and show you guys. Again, it's photopolymer. I have used this set, so let's get started. All righty. I know I'm going to need this out, so let's leave this out. So the first card I think we're going to start with tonight, I think it's going to be one of the simpler ones. I'm going to start with this one. So what I'm going to do first, okay, because I want to save a lot of time, we do have a lot to get through, is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp, color, and then I'm going to assemble the cards. How about we do that? Okay, so let's grab our stamps, get them colored, and then we can move forward with that. So I'm going to need 2 of those, 1 of those, and 1 of those. So let's get to starting. I'm going to need 1 of these. Okay. And you guys, I do use my ink, my blocks from my paper pumpkin. I do buy them. They are of a narrower, shallower profile than the regular stamping blocks. Okay, so we need 1 of those. Okay, let's put that aside. Let me grab this guy and put him out of the way. If you join me when you pop in, just say hello. I'd love to speak with you. Okay, so we can put this one away. And I know we're going to need where's that other one? Oh, I see. We're going to need 1 of these. Sure, I have good coverage everywhere. My Thursday regulars aren't joining me today. That's okay. We love what we do, and we're just going to keep on going and doing what it is we need to do. Okay, so we have those. Perfect. Let's get this color cleaned off. Oh, Stampin' Up had these stamp cleaning pads, and I absolutely love them. They don't have them anymore. I wish we would bring them back, but we don't have them anymore. I love them. I didn't have to worry about whether or not I had a chamois or anything like that. I would just do what I had to do and get her done. So I'm gonna need 2 of each of them. So I'm gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone, I hope. Ink, ink, ink. And wait, I didn't prime this one. Ink, ink, ink. And we're gonna stamp right here. And then I'm gonna need another one, just a smaller piece. Sorry, you guys, I had a little bit of an interruption there. I thought I'd put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I did do it on Do Not Disturb, but unfortunately I have it set so that my family is calling, and they don't seem to ever remember when I'm going live, so they tend to call whenever. Hold on, you guys. Let's get us back in the right orientation here. All righty. Perfect. All right, so we've got everything stamped out that we need to have stamped out. So now we're going to get to coloring. I'm going to do, you saw my mess. I'm so sorry. All righty, let's see. We need our colors to be, I think I'm going to do some Flirty Flamingo, right? But I'm going to do a little bit of watercolor, and I didn't think about it, which means, oh good, I have a pen in here, a watercolor pen. Might do some in fresh Freesia too. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's get a little coloring going on in here. Now, unfortunately, I didn't think I was going to watercolor, so I didn't do this initially on watercolor paper. So that's all I'm really going to do, trying to get a little bit of color going on and then more darker in there. And then I'm going to grab the other one. I think I might add some more color on that one. Give me a minute on that. I got to think. So here we go on this one. I'm going to do the same thing. And let me tell you, the other thing that you can do is if you have a Wink of Stella pen, man, that's the best way to color too. It'll add some shimmer and shine as you're coloring as well. So I'm just doing the watercolor on this one, and I'm going to go right back in the center because I want that to be darker. And then I'm going to go on the outline because I want this guy to be dark. Like so. And then I just want the center. All righty. That's good. We're going to do the same thing to the other. Make sure we color the outer petals like so. And we're going to have our inner. Drop a little bit more water in there. So we want to take this just a little bit more out. All righty. So that's how we're going to do those flowers. And then I'm going to do my alcohol markers for my other flowers. It's just a little quicker for me. All righty. So now that we have that, so we're going to have some greens, and I'm going to grab my soft succulent, and then let's see how we're going to color this. all of my leaves. This is going to be fairly quick because the leaves aren't that big. And again, I'm trying to get all of the coloring done. That way, once we get to assembling, we don't have to kind of stop in between. And it's a one setup process. And because these leaves are more tiny, I'm using the bullet tip rather than the brush tip. I am going to go in and I'm going to try to add a little bit of depth, but I'm going to let it dry just a little bit. Come back in with the dark. Add a little highlight and texture. Okay. So that one's done, and we know this is going to be green here as well. So we may as well get them colored. All right, because we got it open, right? Economy of scales is what I call it. Now I'm going to go in, I'm going to add a little bit of the dark soft succulent. And I kind of just follow the outline that the artist draws, okay, where I'm going to add a little bit of highlighting. And when the artist doesn't do any or add any for you, I just add a little bit like I just did to the bottom. And I'm just going to, when I bring the light color in to blend it out, I'm just going to blend it from the center. You'll see what I mean when I say that. Do the same thing to these guys. Follow the artist's lines. Like so. Okay. That's how that will go. And then I'm going to let that dry. And in the meantime, I'm going to bring my fresh Freesia in for these other flowers over here. And this time I'm going to start with the dark. And I'm going to start with the dark because I'm just going to put the dark where I want the dark to be. Right? And then that way it's just easier. There's so many ways to color, and usually I do light to dark, but there are some instances where I will do dark, dark to light, the reverse. All depends upon my time and what else I have going on. And, you know, I think I want to do, I'm going to do, because they're retiring, I'm going to do the, what's this one? The polished pink. Just because they're retiring, I'm going to do that too. I didn't mention that in the list of colors. Again, and that's why sometimes I try not to put lists in there because I never know what I'm going to do. I never know what I'm going to do. And again, with my dark, I'm really just following the artist's lines. Okay. So what I'm doing on this one is because the inside of the petal that isn't going to get any light. So really, honestly and truly, this is going to be the darkest part of this flower. So I don't have an issue with coloring most of that in. And then we're going to do the same over here. Not going to have light there. This is on the inside over here. And then all of that there. And then because this part is also, there we go. Okay, so now let's go back in with our light, fresh Freesia. And I'm gonna use the brush tip. And I'm really not gonna go over the dark too much because I don't want it to fade. I just want it to blend. And because the area is so small, if you happen to go over it a little bit too much, you might actually get the dark to fade and not get as much highlighting as you could. But then, of course, you can always go back, which I will. Okay, so we did the dark. Now I'm going to do the light. If you've popped in and you're watching me, please say hello. Let me know where you're from. If you are a stamper, how long have you been stamping? And again, with the different colors, the shades, it's just to get a little bit of depth in the floral image. All right, so let's get this guy done. Again, you want to get the color, the depth, like that. And again, one of the tips I always try to remember to tell you guys is when you're using your stamping blends or any of your markers for that matter, make sure when you're using your nibs, whichever one you use, occasionally flip your pen so that you don't wear down any one side of your nibs. Okay, that just extends the life a little bit longer of your flowers, of your nibs. Okay, now I'm going to need my light soft succulent, and I'm going to go in with the brush, the brush nib, or the bullet nib, I'm sorry, and just lightly go over the dark because I want to make sure that I keep my highlighting. And you can see it. Perfect. Same thing here, and here, and here. All right, you guys, I think we have colored all of our parts and pieces. And then with that, let's put our markers away. All righty, markers are put away. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut. I'm gonna bring the mini boss in. And I'm gonna cut out okay. So where's our mini boss? Okay, our mini boss is right here. And our mini boss plates are over here. So we're gonna get some die cutting really quickly, okay? And then once we have all of our parts and pieces, then we can go ahead and get started with assembling our cards. So with the mini boss, we only need plates one. We need one plate one and two of our plate twos. Okay, let's grab our dies. And as you can see, these projects are pretty dye intensive. Hopefully you can see. And then all I'm going to do is try to line these up. Like so. Let me find a piece of washi tape. This is that mint green or green tape. I think they call it mint tape. And I use it for pretty much for any kind of masking that I'm going to do, or to hold down if I'm ink blending or something of that nature. So let's put this down. Make sure we have them lined up so that we have somewhat of an even border all the way around. Oh yeah. Then we have the other one. We're going to see if we can cut multiple things at one time here. Okay, and by multiple things, I mean we're going to cut this like that. Ugh. I had it like so perfect too. Right, now we're going to put this one here like so. Then I think we could probably put this guy, no, maybe this one. Let's grab the die for that. I think that's this one. Yep. And let's get this lined up like so. And we're going to try to die cut as many as possible. There we go. That's perfect right there. Okay. Here we go. Oops. Another tip is, which I forgot, is to make sure that we sandwich our plates so that it feeds through the machine a little bit easier. And if it shakes my camera, I apologize. Ooh. This one shifted. It shifted. That's why I stopped. Sorry. I have to reset. Sorry. All right, let's go. Let's reset here. Because this die shifted and we would have just destroyed all that beautiful coloring work we just did. Perfect. Now let's get you back on here and let's run it through. There we go. If you're joining me tonight, just please stop in, say hello, let me know where you're watching from. So we've got this one done. Set that aside. We won't need that one again, so we can put it away. I'm going to put this aside because we're going to need this one again. And again, we're just trying to be very efficient tonight, making sure that we did all of our coloring so we don't have to bring colors back out. We're going to do all of the die cutting so we don't have to do more die cutting to start and stop. And so that's all we're doing today is trying to be a little bit more efficient in our process. All right, so our next one is this guy, and we had another one. Where's the big guy? He's somewhere around. I still have to die cut the big guy. All right, so we have to find him. He's probably under my machine somewhere, right? So let's put this in. Oops, we shifted. Let's put this here. Get this guy lined up. Oh, that's not right. That's not right. That's not right. Ah, that's the right way right there. Sometimes it's very obvious in the dies how they need to be lined up. Sometimes it's not. Okay. So now we're just going to put this back on the plate, run that through the die cutting machine, and let this one be done as well. I did our first mystery stamping last night. It was so much fun. Don't forget to check that video out for mystery stamping. I enjoyed it so much that I'm going to do it again. Fortunately, my schedule is so packed that I can only right now fit it in maybe once a month. So what I might end up doing is one of our Thursdays that we do for Case the Catty or Chat and Catty, we will end up doing that as our mystery stamping night. So I have to think about how I'm going to fit that into the schedule, the stamping schedule. Okay, so we've got these two done. Let's put these away. Get rid of our scraps. We need these guys. And then we're going to need I think this was here. Not sure where it was. I'll fix them later. But I know I'm gonna need the die for that one. And here it is. So let's get this guy lined up and get it cut out. I die cut the big pieces. I probably should have die cut the smaller pieces, but I try not to, I would try most times not to die cut and then try to have to stamp in that one. It can be done, but I try not to do it. Call it the lazy man way or something, but I just try not to do it that way. All right, so there we go. That's done. And then putting all of our parts and pieces aside. So the other thing that we're going to need is we're going to need some fillers, right? And we have some of the leaves as fillers. Let's see, which ones do we have? We have 2 of these. We have 2 of these for that card. In the and I changed my color palette, I think. I went with the darker. I know, right? And so here's a little trick also, right? I know I need 2 of these in the darker color. So what I'm going to do is, if it fits, right, and it does, I'm going to fold a piece of cardstock, making sure that I have what I need, right? I'm going to fold it. I think it's big enough, right? And I'm going to cut double. Make sure I'm not going to cut anything off. And then I'm going to try to cut 2 of them. Yeah, at one time. So let's see, make sure. Then we're making sure. So we're going to put some washi tape in there. to hold it in place because we don't have a lot of room to play with. All right, so that's what we're gonna do with that. And then we're probably gonna have to run it because we've doubled the cardstock. So I'm gonna run it through a couple times. Oops. I'm gonna run it through a couple times. Ooh, what happened here? Well, let's make sure that we can get this thing to go through. Oh, the machine doesn't like for it to be doubled. What the hey, you guys? Okay, so I tried it. Not gonna work. All right, cut it one at a time. I have done it on other projects and it goes through. So we have one done. We're gonna need a second. That one is done. I'm gonna see if I can get 2 out of this one piece, and I should have, right? Because I was getting ready to do it that way anyway. And there we go. We can definitely get 2 out of 1. This is what I call economy of paper and getting a lot of bang for my buck. Oops. So there we go. Put this guy back on here, making sure I won't lose anything, and then get to die cutting. What is going on? Why are you not going through here? Third world problems, they are not. All right, let's make sure we sandwich our plates. Get these going through, like so. All right, and then that one's done. And then I can see I'm gonna need one in Balmy Blue. So there's our 2. Put that in the trash. I don't have any Balmy Blue hanging around. This is when I make some executive decisions, you guys. Do I cut into a huge piece of Balmy Blue, or do I just make another shade of blue work? If y'all know anything about me, I'm about to make another shade of blue work. That's about what I'm getting ready to do. Huh. So here we go. No. I think that's just one. Okay. All right, Mortimer, I think we're almost done with the die cutting. I think this was a Pacific Point that I had out. Right, and then I think I need, let's see, what else do we need? We need one in this color and one here, but we need it of, put this one back. And we need, alrighty, it's in soft. A flirty flamingo-ish color. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do with that. I'm gonna add some texture. Oops. I just dropped a die, you guys. You know how that goes. You know how that goes. So let's get this one die cut. And I think there's just one of those in that shade. And now there's two of them actually. So I'm gonna do two. And here we go. That's one. I'm die cutting this on the back side of one of the pieces of the Irresistible Blooms. The color in it is like the Flirty Flamingo, so I decided I would just use that and get a little bit of texture in there as well. So definitely make use of your designer paper if you have it, to give you some good texture in your projects. Oh yeah, that's gonna look beautiful. And then I'm gonna die cut another one, like so. And then I'm gonna need, I think, in blue. So I'm gonna keep with the same shade of blue that I did the other one. Okay. Get a little bit of consistency there. Okay. We're done with that. Get the release done. So there's two here. Alrighty. And then I'm gonna need two here. I'm gonna cut two to be on the safe side, but I think it's just one. You know, sometimes you don't want to get started and then be like, oh yeah, I need another one. So I'm trying to get all of the die cutting done ahead of time so that once we put our little mini cut and emboss away, we don't have to bring it out again. All right. I think my plates are kind of warping. That's why it's starting to warp. Okay, that's number one. And we're gonna do one more just to be on the safe side. Okay. And then we need, and I'm gonna use the same thought process for the other one. Excuse me. I'm gonna grab a piece of this designer paper that we used. We're gonna use for the cardstock, and we're just gonna cut two of our leaves out of it. And yes, I could have colored them, cut them out in the standard colors, but I'm wanting to add a little bit of interest, a little bit more texture, and a little bit more of my design element, my design flair to the regular, to the pattern. And so that's why I am using the designer paper to cut these leaves out. It's just different. Yeah. All right, so I think we're almost done. I'm gonna need, I think it's 2. So I'm gonna cut 2 of this color. Oops. There we go. I did the release. That's 1. Can't get the release out. And 1 more. Now you can definitely cut them in solid colors. For the purpose of this card tonight, I have just decided that I am actually just gonna use the designer paper. One, it's there, and why not? Okay, I think that's the last of the die cutting. If not, we'll bring it out again if we have to. All right, so let's get this stuff put away and then we can get started with our first card. All right. All right, so the first card I told you guys we were going to start with was this green one right here in this corner. So let's grab this guy and let's get to cracking on it. So I've already run the parts and pieces through the die cutting machine. And I just dropped a part. And so as you can see, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Flirty Flamingo again. And I'm going to grab my water painter. And what I'm going to do is this, okay? Make sure this is in the right design, right orientation. So what I did was I die cut in the fine shimmer paper using the heart die that's in the framed floret bundle out of a piece of cardstock that is 4 by 5 1/4. And then I did the same thing for a coordinating piece of shimmer white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, what did I just do with my water brush? Here we go. I'm now going to go in, and I'm only using this as a guide, right? Let me put a little bit more water on here. I can see that I have some folks watching. Nobody's saying hello to me, but please say hello. Let me know how you're doing this evening, how your day is going, where you're watching from. And I'm using this as a guide because what I want to make sure that I do is get a bit of a wash from the bottom. Not too far out. Right? And I don't want it to, it doesn't have to be even or anything, but I just want to make sure that I have that little bit of a wash right here. Okay. So that's how that's going to go. That's the end of this for this, you all. So now with my liquid glue, which I put somewhere, I'm now going to adhere my frame to my shimmer white piece of cardstock. And because they're cut to the same size, they should fit perfectly. All right. Okay. And now we're going to start to assemble. Oh, I didn't cut those petals. Oh, we're going to stamp them real quick. Okay, let's make sure all of our pokey parts are out. Our pokey bits. Our pokey bits, yeah, they got to be out. And again, I just changed up the color a little bit. I had some scrap Blackberry Bliss out, so instead of cutting additional colors, I just went with what I had out. Okay, I'm going to need 2 of them. Get my little flirty bits out, my little bits out. What are you guys drinking tonight? I am drinking my sparkling water again. All right, so I know one of these is going to go this way. All right. I know one is going to go that way, and I know one is going to go this way. This is what I know. And then I know that we have one of these up here, like so. No, this one was for this one. So I have these guys. So one of them is going to go this way, up here. And the other one, which fell on the ground, go the opposite way, right? Okay. And so the other thing I want to do now is make sure, where'd that guy go? He went like that, right? And then I didn't stamp my leaves, so I'm gonna stamp my leaves, but I'm gonna fussy cut them just because it's quicker. And so let's put these in place. I did not use that. I do have, this is another thing that you should have in your craft room, you guys. This is a Xyron machine. And I believe everybody should have one of these. Absolutely. When you forget, like I did, to use your adhesive sheets, the best thing in the world you can have is a Xyron machine. Okay, because now all of my parts will have adhesive on them. Okay, so let's go ahead and make sure we burnish that adhesive in. And I do the same thing. I grab a bone folder or my finger and I go right over it. Perfect. All right, so let's start to assemble so far. And we got our first. We're going to put this one here, like so. I don't know, somebody was telling me that they didn't be, because of the extra adhesive that comes between the parts and big pieces. That's why they don't use this. But you guys, there's such an easy way to get around that. There is. Just take the release paper. I don't have a lot of excess right now, but if you did, just take the release paper and dab it like so, and it'll remove that excess adhesive. And you don't have to worry about it. Tip number 3 for the night. Now we're going to put our second set of leaves on. And we're going to put you about like so. And then the second leaf is going to go on the inside like so. And you're going to face out. And again, we're going to grab this release paper and remove the excess adhesive. There we go. Perfect. All right, so that's where we are so far. And then, like I said, I forgot to stamp my leaves. So I'm going to stamp and color my leaves really quickly. And I only need 2 of them, thank goodness. And they'll be fast to color. Okay. So bear with me as I stamp and die cut these really quickly. Okay, and I need a piece of scrap. There you go. Oh wait, I'm not touching that. I think I put it away, but I don't want to use it because it might be the piece that I need for something else. So let's just get this stamped out there. Then let's get this stamped out. Put you aside. Get it out of the way. Get this stamped like that. I'm going to come in with soft succulent again, light and dark. I'm going to start with the dark. Start with the light, the dark. And then let the light pull it out. Like that. And because these are fairly simple, I'm not going to pull out the die cutting machine again. I'm just going to fussy cut them out. Okay. All right. That's how simple it is to cut this guy out. So sometimes when it's really simple, a simple project to cut, I just don't bother pulling out the cut machine. I just kind of grab my little snips here and do a little die cutting. Okay. So I'm just going to go in here, cut this out, turn this around, and come back out. And then we have one of our pieces done. And we're going to cut out the next. And then we can go ahead and put these together. I can hear the thunder. We're supposed to have like some severe weather tonight. Tornado warnings I've seen. And but I can hear a little thunder going in the distance now. So it is definitely getting ready to roll in here. Probably should have brought my flowers and stuff, my pots and stuff inside. Oh my goodness, I probably should have done that. It's a little late for that now. Maybe if I'm done with these cards and it has not started really horribly, I'll go in and I'll bring my flowers inside, my flower pots. All right. So So now we can get to, and I'm not going to do the sentiments tonight, y'all, just because, yeah. So this is going to go like this, and then we're going to have these guys. This is going to be like that. This is going to be like that. Like that and like that. And then this is going to be the same thing. We're going to have the big guy up here and then the little guy down here like that. Okay, so now that we know what we're doing, let's get it done. And so part of what you're looking at too is when you are laying out some of these tiny bits is that you want to cover up some of the so like where you have all of these little stem things sticking out, you're going to want to cover that up. So that's kind of some of the, I guess, the design element behind how we are going to lay these flowers out. Okay, then we're going to put this guy here. And I said, we're not going to do the sentiment tonight, just to make sure we get all 3 cards done. We're going to do this. And then I need a piece of dimensional. And we're going to plop the dimensional right on the middle to give this a little bit of height, like so. Okay, and then we're going to repeat on this side. Like this. And these flowers are going this way. Again, making sure that we cover our little whoozy bits down here. That's what I call them, our little whoozy bits. The bigger one, the bigger flower goes on the bottom, like so. And then we're going to put this guy right in the center. About right here. And there's no rhyme and reason other than to cover the stems that were on some of the projects. Okay, so this first card is done except for our sentiment. And again, I'm going to put the sentiment on later. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and grab our card base. Our card base is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I'm going to add this. I don't know if you can hear the thunder going on out there or not, but it is going. And I'm not going to put that part on dimensional. And the only reason I'm not putting it on dimensional is just because I still have the sentiment, and I'm going to pop the sentiment up in the middle. Okay, so this is our first card minus the sentiment and some bling. And I'll put that on a little bit later as well. And so the next card we're going to work on the second one, which is this guy, because I think this one's the next easiest one, right? We have our standard card base, A2 size, which is 4 1/4, 5.5. Okay. Get our base folded, make sure our ends are even. Sometimes, again, when you score, when I score, I can't speak for everybody, but when I score my card base, it does not seem to always fold evenly. So I try to make sure that I take care of that before I burnish the fold. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna try to do all the prep work on here before I adhere it to the card base. So what I'm gonna need, this is gonna go on here. Oh, but before I do that, see, I almost forgot. I need my fresh Freesia. And again, I'm gonna do a watercolor wash. And just to do a quick wash, that just means, let me apply some color. Let me put a little color in the well. And I'm gonna grab my water brush again. It's almost out of water, right? Make sure I get water in the bristle. And all I'm gonna do is quickly get a little bit of a wash. Okay. Just a wash. There's no rhyme or reason. Okay. Let that dry for a little bit. All right, I'm going to grab my heat tool, let it dry. Okay, now that it's dry a little bit, I'm gonna come in, and because I'm gonna, my Versamark, I have a Versamark that's in the purple color. So I'm going to, a VersaFine Clear, and this one is called Monarch. And I'm gonna stamp that sentiment and heat emboss it. Thank you with all of my heart. I gotta clean my blocks. They're a mess. Sometimes when you stop and take a look at things, you realize, oh wait, we need to do a little home hustling in here. All right, so let's get this stamped up, inked up, stamped up, heat embossed up. Make sure this is as even as I can get it. Stamp. Perfect. Add my clear heat embossing powder. I can tell the storm's coming in. My dogs are in here. So if you hear them barking, I apologize, but the storm is coming. They're not nervous Nellies when it comes to the storm, but they do like for me to be a little bit close by when storms are in the area. So my Maxie I just heard her little her little footprints come in, letting me know, Mom, I'm here. So and so all I'm doing is heat embossing my sentiment. And I'm gonna try to double and triple tonight my heat embossing because I really want the sentiment to pop. right. So our sentiment for this card is done. And I know I said I wasn't going to do the sentiments, but in this particular instance, I had to do that before I stamped because as you can see from the design, it's going to cover. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this out, pick a point, and let it go. Make sure I poke all my little pokey bits out. Gotta get the pokey bits out, y'all. And I use, I had a piece of, I think this was the some copper foil. And because I was going a little bit darker in colors, I just thought the copper made a little bit more sense than the gold or the rose gold. And besides, I had it and I never used it, so it was time for me to use it. Oh, one more. There we go. Fine tip glue. I find for me when I'm using glue, especially on these little fine bits, it's I try to make sure that the most important parts have glue so that they don't rise up. And really and truly, I should have used my adhesive sheet and I did not when I pre-cut these. So I'm going to live and learn on this one. And I think we got enough. Okay, so grab this. Again, line it up using your grid paper. I know I want it to be on that line and that line. And if it's lined up like that, everything else should be straight. Okay. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this guy, and this is why we had to stamp it. Even though I said we weren't doing the sentiments tonight, because everything kind of builds around this sentiment. Okay, or this little oval piece. So I'm gonna put this in here. It's warped because we added water to it, as well as we heat embossed it. So we're gonna have to hold it in place just a little for it to set like this. And then we're gonna add, this is gonna go this way. Nope, it's not this one. It's this one. So we have this little guy going here, like this. But more like this because we don't want to hide our words. Like that. That's how he's gonna go. And I think, is it on dimensionals? Yes. I did not, I thought I had everything all cut out, but it's not. I think I lost power for a little bit, you guys, so I apologize. The storm, like I said, is racing in, so if I do happen to cut out again, you guys, I will post my finished cards. My finished projects will be posted on my blog as well as on in the Facebook group. was not. I record now. I will. So, am I gonna just cut it out of this? I do need more of these. I mean, what do I need here? Gosh darn it. Go with this one. I have my glasses. I'm like, what am I doing? Yeah. I know, I couldn't see. Are you okay? You okay, Mama? You okay, Mama? I see you looking for me. I see you looking for me. Alrighty. So you see, let's see this one here. Like so. It goes up in here like that. And then this one comes in. Got two of them. I don't think I did get two. I did cut two. There they are. I think we're good. So now I'm gonna go to record. All right, you guys. The storm is definitely coming through and something knocked something out of place. So I got kicked off as live streaming. So this is part 2 of our chat and Catty, and I'm gonna finish up our cards for tonight. So if I don't speak, I'm just gonna rush through it because I don't know what's coming. So I'm just gonna try to get through the cards as quickly as possible tonight. I seem to have misplaced my little bouquet. I know we stamped and colored it. I don't know where it is now. Power's gonna do. So I will come back to you live and finish up the last 2 cards at another time. Thank you guys for trying to watch me, and I appreciate you.